What's up, guys? Welcome back to Spoiling Movies. My name is Chris, and I'm going to tell you all about a movie I just watched and all the things I find interesting or noteworthy and tell you about them. This week's movie is Sorry to Bother You. So it starts with a dude interviewing for a job as a telemarketer, and he's got a plaque that has his picture and employee of the month on it, and he also tells the guy interviewing him, like, I've got a trophy for some other shit, like I won this award at the last place, so he's a giant trophy on the desk, and the boss guy that's interviewing, he's like, he just immediately calls bullshit. He's like, all of that would have been fine, except your reference, your job reference thing was just your friend that also applied here, and it says his name when you call the reference number. And he's like, so all your shit is bullshit. And I used to work for that company, and you weren't there. And he's like, yeah, I just made all that shit. And he's like, it doesn't matter. This is a telemarketing company. It doesn't matter what the fuck you did. Like, I'm gonna hire you. Just come in tomorrow and fucking read from the script, stick to the script, fucking smile, and sell some shit. And then they show him waking up in bed next to his girlfriend person and talking about death. Do you ever think about death or whatever? And she's like, live in the moment. It's about us right now and stuff. But she starts rubbing on him, and they get ready to have sex, and then the door opens, and it's a garage door. His room is in a garage, and people outside see him, and they're like, get a room. He's like, I got a fucking room. It's just in this fucking garage. So on TV, there's a commercial for this place called Worry Free. A company, a worry-free, where they'll just let you live in a place, and they'll give you meals, and all you have to do is work. But they'll pay for your whole life. That's all you have to do if you go to worry-free living. So he walks outside getting ready to go to the job, and Terry Crews pops out a window, and he's like, hey man, when are you going to pay rent? He's like, man, I just got the new job. I'll get it when I get it. And he's like, I'm about to lose the house, man. You better get the fucking thing. He gets to the job, and he sees there's some people that could go up on a big fancy golden escalator or elevator thing. So when he puts on his little headphone, he starts dialing people's numbers and talking to them. It he visualizes, or we get to see him and his cubicle desk thing dropping into their house during dinner or during sex or whatever. Do you have a minute to talk about these fucking things or whatever? And they're all just hanging up on him and shit. Danny Glover is sitting next to him in the other cubicle. I guess it's not a cubicle. They're sitting right next to each other. But he's like, you need to use your white voice. And he's like, well, I can sound like this. But he's like, no, it's not like that. It's you need to sound like you don't give a shit. And so Danny Glover does his version of a white voice, and it's just completely dubbed over crazy voice. And welcome back to the fucking thing. I think I fucking you'd be fucking well here. Some dude that he meets in the office tells him we're trying to find a way to get more money for all of us. So would you like to be a part of our group? We'll talk about it later. But his name is Cassius, but people call him Cash. And the other dude's name is Squeeze. And the girl's name is Detroit. And one of the women talking to them about shit her name is Debaucherie. But it's spelled debauchery. There's a bunch of protests going on from people that are against the worry-free place where people can live. But main dude Cash has a great white guy voice. And it's David Cross, I believe, that is doing the voice. You see on TV, there's a show called I Got the Shit Kicked Out of Me. And it's just somebody getting just punched in the face and beaten up or whatever. Idiocracy style, kicked in the balls or whatever it was. At the telemarketing place, he starts making a ton of sales. A ton of sales all the time because he's using his white voice. He's getting in. He's involving himself with people. Well, what's up, my dude? Oh, that's right. Oh, which card are we using to pay for this again? The girlfriend character, I think it was lady from Thor Ragnarok. She's always wearing weird earrings that she's made herself that always have some weird statement on them. At first it's one of her earrings says murder, 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 and the other one says kill, kill, kill. And then the next time she's got little penis shaped earrings made out of something, and then you see her with giant earrings that are electric chairs with people sitting in them. They decide to make him a power caller, as they say. Like, you can go upstairs in that fancy fucking elevator. If you're a good employee and you sell a bunch of shit, you can be a power caller. And they make him one of those. And he's like, they're gonna give me a bunch of money so I can, pay shit, so I'm gonna do that. So when he comes into work as a power caller, they put him in the fancy elevator. You have to be using your white voice at all times when you're in the power caller place. So Eye Patch Guy tells him that they don't just sell the stuff that you were trying to sell. Like up here in the power caller thing, we sell power. We sell firepower. We also sell manpower. So they sell people. And that worry-free place is their biggest customer. Basically selling slavery over the phone to rich people. So one of the other, not terrorist, but extreme protest groups is like the Left Eye people. They always have like a thing over their left eye or whatever. And that's when I noticed that the Eye Patch Guy also had the patch over the left eye. And the girlfriend character is also a sign twirler, one of those people that has the signs. But it always says something different, and I didn't really ever understand what those signs meant. They're kind of joking about her being a prostitute, so maybe that's a metaphor for her being a prostitute or something. So when he's walking to work, he meets some of his, union buddies, and he tells them, I'm a power caller, try to, do the right thing from there. And they're sort of like, what are you doing? You're being a sellout or whatever. So Cash Dude talks to the boss and is able to get a cash advance, and he goes and he pays Terry Crews the money he owes him, so Terry Crews is able to keep his house. He goes and gets a new car, and he gets a new apartment and shit, and they do really interesting practical effects. Like his old TV splits in half, and a brand new fucking giant flat screen comes out of it, and the lamps and everything changes, and it's all very interesting visual effects. And there's more commercials on TV about the worry-free place, and it's basically prison. It shows them in bunks. And they're like, we get all these meals a day. We don't have to worry about a place to stay. We don't have to worry about anything. The girlfriend gets mad at him because he's sold out as the power caller, and he's doing those things, and she's like, you're selling slavery over the phone, and that's you think that's okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm doing this for us, for to make things better. And she leaves him. She's like, I don't want any part of that. For him to even get into the place he's working now, he has to go through the protester people. SWAT teams are kicking everybody's asses to let him through. Cash always has a picture of his dad, I think is his dad, standing next to a car, and it was a picture. But now every time they show the picture, the dad starts looking more increasingly just mad. It's like, what are you doing? You're selling out, you're being a fucking whatever. When he's crossing the picket line to go into work one of those days, some lady shouts something and throws a can of soda at him, hits him in the head. The lady that threw the can hit him right above his right eye, so he's getting it's bleeding down on his right eye. So they're making a big deal about the left eye and the right eye. The left and the right. So he goes to big, fancy, rich man's party, I guess that is in charge of the telemarketing place and a bunch of other shit. And Eye Patch Dude introduces him to Rich Guy. Cash tries to introduce himself and shake his hand. And Rich Guy's like, I don't know, what are you doing with it? And Eye Patch Dude is like, it's okay, he's friendly. So Rich Guy's like, oh, okay, I guess, it's nice to meet you. But you better make sure you do this and this. Then he asks him, tell us some stories. I bet you popped a cap in someone's ass. Tell us some of those stories. And he's like, I don't really have any of those stories. And there's, orgy kind of shit. Everybody's fucking in the background. Eye Patch Dude comes and meets with Cash and tells him that there's a big thing coming. Go down the hall. Go over here. Talk to the dude. Don't fuck it up. So he finds it, and it ends up being the main rich dude's office, and he's like, you're in the big leagues now, it's time to do this shit. Offers him some coke. He fucking snorts it in a fucking strange spiral pattern on a plate that has a horse face on it. Rich Guy says, you gotta watch this movie before I make you a proposition. So he starts watching it, and it's what's weird, showing cavemen evolving, and then them killing each other, whatever. And he's like, I really gotta piss. So rich guy says, bathroom's down the hall in this door. And he goes down the hall and he finds this weird bathroom that looks like a prison bathroom. And some guy in the stall is like, help me, please, help me. He opens the door, the guy like falls out, and it's this weird horse person. So then there's other like horse people that are also in like bathroom stalls in that prison weird looking place, but they're all like in chains and shit. He walks out of there like, what the fuck? And the rich guy is there and he's got a gun. He's like, what that's not the door you were supposed to go into. The door's over there. And he's got the gun and everything. Just come back to the office and we'll, watch the rest of the video I was trying to show you, and then we'll fucking figure things out. So he's forced to watch the video, basically, and it's this weird stop-motion, like, claymation animation showing, the cavemen people, but they've figured out a way to, like, genetically modify people by making them snort certain things, because these horse people are better at, like, doing labor for them, and they can use those horse people in that worry-free place, and they can make money off them. So Cash starts freaking out, like, what was that shit you had me snort when I first fucking walked in here? Was that same fucking shit that's gonna turn me into one of those things? Like, no. It was just regular coke. It was regular cocaine. But rich guy tells Cash, like, I want you to be the spokesperson for those people. We can do whatever we want as long as you're there telling people certain things. We'll change you into the horse person thing just so you can do what we want you to do, and then we'll change you back. So rich guy lets Cash leave and go think about it, but apparently he had dropped his cell phone in that weird prison bathroom with the horse people. So there's a video that the horse people had sent to his girlfriend person where they're like, help us, this is fucking awful, help us. And it basically shows everything that's going on. The bad guy even shows up on the video and is like, you fucking make sure you do this, otherwise fuck you, or whatever. But since he's got that video footage from the phone, he's going to put it out. And the only way to get it out in front of everybody's faces is to go on big talk show or something. And it ends up being the I got the shit kicked out of me show. They kick the shit out of him because that's the show. He's able to get the video out there so people know what's going on. And they totally do. They put it out there and everybody loves it. It's like a sensation. Everybody is like, that's amazing. It gets really popular. Like, so he's able to go on like a bunch of other shows and talk about it, explaining everything that's happening and showing people the actual footage and everything. This time when people are trying to get into the telemarketer building, They still have the protesters that are trying to stop the new workers from coming in, but they set up some statues that are like made of rock, and so like the SWAT people get up to them and then they get fucking knocked down. But they just send in like a whole new group of SWAT people that just start just beating everybody and fucking gassing them and just kicking the shit out of him. And he gets knocked out, and then he wakes up and he's in like a van, like a paddy wagon thing. And he can see out this little slit thing that there's still a lot of shit going on. There's a big ass, like, another van that comes and tries to like mow people down and like kill them. But then the van gets pushed back. And you see that there's one of those horse people is there. And then the horse people end up busting him out of that, out of the van thing. So now that he's out, he goes and, he buys his friend a car, one of the union friends that he had. And that union thing had won their fight against the company or something. Cash is back in his old neighborhood at the old house that would have been taken. He says he's going to go back to the telemarketing company now that they've changed their policies and stuff. Girlfriend is there. He opens up the garage again, but now it has like a lot of the fancy furniture and shit that he had when he had a bunch of money. And they show the little dad picture thing, and the dad is happy once again. The dad is doing like a jump, click the heel kind of thing or something. And then they show him, like, starting to transform. He's got big fucking weird nostrils. Like, he's starting to transform into the fucking horse thing. They go back to Rich Guy's house. Him and his horse people friends are like, we're about to fucking kick your ass, and we're coming in. So they come into his house, and that's the movie. It's sort of Get Out meets Twilight meets Idiocracy meets a lot of other crazy things. The politics and the race stuff, it's very, very prevalent. It's very heavy in this movie, and I don't really I don't tend to like movies that are like super political and shit like that. And I almost can't say that I enjoyed the movie. I felt more on edge watching it, and there were so many like metaphors and symbolism and things that it just kind of made me feel dumb because I didn't get every little thing. And there's a ton of shit in the background, like subliminal messages and imaging. It was really, really well done. Well shot, well crafted. It's very surreal. I was kind of expecting it to be a little more comedic. It only has a couple moments where it seems like they were actually trying to go for a laugh. The horse people almost made it like into a whole different type of movie. Like I almost feel like the message they were trying to go for would have been better if they hadn't gone into like the genetic horse people. Like I still get the messages they were trying to send, but like actually showing horse humans was a little off-putting. I mean, the whole movie was kind of off-putting. It's hard for me to recommend this. I don't really know what to say. It was well acted. It was well shot. It was creatively very, very good. I can't say I had a good time watching it. It kind of made me feel a little oogie. A little fucking icky. But anyway, that's my fucking review of Sorry to Bother You. I like a bunch of the and like because the whatever.